I got a 97% on the ATI TEAS 7 exam on the math section, and I'm going to show you exactly how I got that. So to start off, the ATI TEAS 7 math portion is very heavily reflected on the fractions. So if you're not very comfortable with fractions, I'm going to tell you right now exactly how to solve that and on what I did that made me get the grade that I did get. So for one, let's say, what's equivalent to 5/4 or 5/14, whatever. What I would do is I would just divide 5/4, 5/14, and then write that decimal point down on the scrap of paper that they give you, and then go for each like letter A, B, C, and D, and see which values match the same. And that's how I did that. I wasn't trying to sit there and do, we don't have a lot of time for that, so I'd rather just punch in all the numbers and find out that way rather than sitting there trying to convert it into something that's just too no. And then secondly, I did want to mention that in the TEAS exam, it's also very heavily on percentages. So if it's asking what's 25% of 600, it's 600 times 0.25. Now if it's asking what's 2%, it'll just be 0.02, if that makes sense. So it's like, because I'm trying to think of like an easier way to put it out there. So okay, so if you have the number 26%, there's 2 decimal points to go up to 0.26. So if it's 2 and you were to go 1, 2, it'd be 0.02. Like, I don't know if that probably helps in regards to like what to multiply the actual number by. So if it says what's 82% of 700, it's 700 times 0.82, because you would start decimal point all the way in the back and just go up 2, and wherever that lands on is what you'll multiply it by. For the TEAS exam, they also go into formulas. However, it is not crazy formulas that you have to remember. For example, I did the ATI TEAS test prep, but I only got a 30-day app, and when I was doing the math section through there, it was a lot more complicated questions rather than the actual TEAS exam. So if you're going to use that, I would only use the 30-day app for the science and English sections, because it does do a very good job in those. But regarding math, I wouldn't use that. I'd rather use Momentrix instead, because it does a very good job of laying out what is being tested. But yeah, so I would say know your conversions. Honestly, I had more